People think mythology began as stories, but in the beginning, myth was observation. Before scripture, before temples, before the first ever empire rose, humanity stood under the open sky and watched light move. The ancient Europeans looked at the horizon and saw the same thing every day. The sun does not stand still. In 1999, on a hill in Saxony-Anhalt, Germany, two men with metal detectors illegally dug into the soil and struck bronze. It would take years of analysis, authentication, and carbon dating, but eventually archaeologists confirmed something astonishing. It was a 30 centimetre bronze disc, inlaid with gold, showing a full sun or a moon, a crescent moon, a cluster of 7 stars, the Pleiades, which we will return to later, and golden arcs marking the solstices. It dated to around 1800 to 1600 BC. That is near 4,000 years old. The disc was found on Mittelberg Hill near Nebra, Germany, by treasure hunters Henry Westphal and Mario Renner. It was found alongside bronze swords, axes, a chisel, and spiral armbands. The artifact was sold to a private dealers before being recovered in 2002 for a police sting operation. If you didn't know, metal detecting is heavily regulated in Germany. You can't just go into the woods and search for treasure. You need to apply for permits to prevent exactly this sort of thing from happening. It is worth noting that testing revealed the artifact went through a very complicated hot forging process of at least 10 heat cycles of up to 700 degrees. Now, this alone pretty much dispels the Roman slander that the Germanic tribes were just a backward, tiny village dwelling people. This clearly shows at least an advanced knowledge of metallurgy as well as solar understanding. The Nebra sky disk is the oldest known concrete depiction of the cosmos anywhere on Earth, according to UNESCO. These weren't random decorations, it was devotion, the oldest map of the cosmos ever found, a Bronze Age invocation of the celestial order. The Pleiades and the moon alignments on the Nebra disk match the precise observation needed to time the agricultural year, especially harvests. But there is something stranger. The side arcs, the curved wings, marked the exact angle between winter and the summer solstice sunsets when viewed from the Mittelberg Hill. This means the disk was not just symbolic, it was a portable solar navigation instrument. This was a calendar that you could carry, a cosmic roadmap. Archaeologists believe the sky disk played a significant role in the agricultural and ritual practices of the Untersee culture, serving as a tool for astronomical observations and a symbol of the cosmic order. Its layered creation over 4 distinct phases and eventual deposition as a ritual offering highlight its cultural and spiritual importance. The people who created it, the Untersee culture, or however you pronounce that, traded amber from the Baltic, tin from Cornwall, and gold, possibly from the Carpathians. They were well connected. They moved with the sun, and it followed that trail of solar imagery north as we arrive in Denmark. 1,500 kilometers away and 300 years later, a bronze horse draws a golden sun. In 1902, a farmer ploughing a peat bog on the Trundholm Moor on the northwest coast of the island of Zealand, southern Denmark, spotted the elegant horse lying in the mud. Thinking he had stumbled on an old toy, he brought it inside for his children. On further inspection, the National Museum of Denmark was contacted and the sun chariot was properly inspected. 96 years after the initial discovery, metal detectorists returned to the original find spot and recovered 21 additional parts of the sun chariot. These pieces, elements of the spokes, wheels, rings, and axes, were painstakingly reassembled by museum staff. The object illustrates the eternal journey of the sun, as depicted by a divine horse pulling an ornate golden disc all on rotating wheels. Again, this was an incredibly complex piece of art, and its delicate wax casting system was quite advanced for the time. Due to damage on the back of the Sun Chariot's horse, you can still see its inner clay core, part of the smelting process. The Sun Chariot is perhaps the finest example of crucial aspect of Scandinavian Bronze Age religion, the cosmic passage of the sun through heavenly light and the darkness of the underworld. The motif appears elsewhere in Scandinavia, particularly in rock art and on small bronze objects such as razors. Other mythological forces deliver the sun, including ships, snakes, fish, and aquatic birds. Nordic traditions, first attested in sources from the 13th century, describe similar solar voyages, suggesting Bronze Age religious components were transmitted orally for millennia before being established in Nordic texts. The Nordic sun goddess Sol travels through the sky in a chariot pulled by two horses, imparting everlasting life-giving energy and the very basis of existence. The Sun Chariot also provides insight into the timing of domesticated horses in Scandinavia. No other complete solar chariots have been recovered in Scandinavia. However, Bronze Age rituals often emphasize the sacredness of water and the placement of spiritually meaningful objects in landscape features such as bogs, lakes, ponds, and rivers. Parts of Golden Disc have been recovered in Jägersborg, Hien, Northern Zealand. Could these be elements of another solar chariot? Unlike the Nebra disk, this object shows movement. The sun rides across the sky, not drifting but pulled. This reflects a massive shift in the mythology of the time. Earlier cultures used solar barges, such as similar hieroglyphics that were found in Egypt, the sun sailing on water. Indo-Europeans, Kurgans, invented chariots, and the sun began to be forcibly moved. Solar movement became symbolic with willpower. This clearly symbolizes the Kurgan Hyperborean spirit of harnessing the power of nature to assert one's will and dominion over the land and peoples. The symbol of the solar chariot spreads everywhere the Indo-European languages appear. In Norse, Sol derives the sun, pulled by Avakir and Alsvir, early awake and all swift. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so please correct me. In Greek, Helios drives a 4-horse chariot. Apollo becomes associated with the sun later. In Roman mythology, Sol Invictus is shown and quadriga on coins. Vedic India, Surya rides a chariot with 7 horses. One idea across many cultures: the horse, the wheel, and the sun. A technology becomes a theology. The Illyrian culture was a group of Indo-European tribes that inhabited the western Balkan Peninsula and the eastern Adriatic coast from the 2nd millennium BC to the 1st century AD. Despite the relative lack of written records, archaeological evidence and later Roman accounts shed light on the culture's unique belief system, mythology, and rituals. Some Balkan traditions, including ancient Illyrian myths, hold that the sun rebirths in the winter solstices. Mountains are sacred vantage points for watching its return. These beliefs echo all across Europe and line up with the mythology of the Nebra disk and the Sun Chariot. Now, you're probably wondering, what have these got to do with each other? Could the binding factor just be some ancient mythology born from observation? Or could it be a set of shared forefathers? Could this obsession from the sun come from a land that Herodotus described as a place where the sun never set, with sunlight 24 hours a day, the land of the midnight sun? Now, maybe these Kurgan Indo-European ancestors shared a common lineage and disseminated through themselves a kind of memory of sun worship, an ode to their home, and buried these sacred artifacts in swamps, on significant hills and watch from mountains as an honour to their ancestral home and a message to future generations. That's it from me. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Drop a few hate comments below if you've got any suggestions. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.